Cairo, Egypt, home of some of the most intriguing and mysterious sights one can find. It's a city unlike any other in the world. The following documents our 3-day stay in Cairo, what it's like to visit without a tour group, how to get around the pyramids of Giza, and our impressions of the city. We don't have much travel experience, but we hope that our journey will inspire others to visit Cairo and help them on their way. Well, we're here at O'Hare, about ready to head out for Frankfurt, Germany, our first stop on the way to Cairo. And I've done a fair number of international traveling, but this is the first time I've done it without a group here, kind of on my own, so we're venturing out here. You excited?
Yes.
Yeah, this will be really interesting, just a totally different culture we'll get to experience. So very excited.
Ride some camels.
Our flight to Germany was 8 hours long. We had a 3-hour layover, then proceeded onto another 4-hour flight to Cairo. After all the flying, we were tired, but found new energy when we arrived in Egypt. As soon as we cleared customs, our adventure began. People everywhere in the airport were trying to sell us taxi services. I had set up a ride with our hotel, the Mena House, but we could not find any indication of how to let them know we had arrived. Someone claiming to work for the Mena House set us up with a taxi, and we soon found our way to the hotel. I am quite certain that the person who helped us get there did not indeed work for the Mena House. In Egypt, you always have to watch out for these kinds of scams. Fortunately, everything worked out and we got to the Mena House in good time. What we wanted to talk about, right, was how we got back here. So, because I don't want to forget any of this. We got picked up at the hotel, and I don't think it was the people we arranged to get picked up by. And
Hey, we will never know. We got here.
we'll never know. We went with it because we agreed on the same price that we had already set up, and we knew we were going to the same spot. It was still through people that the hotel used, or the airport used. So he got us here, and I have never seen traffic like this. Not that it was necessarily dense when we were going through, but
Was it that one point?
yeah, a few spots. But and you know, I've seen bad traffic like in Seoul, Korea, where they ignore lanes a little bit, but not like this. This was crazy. This guy was an artist. He wove in and out, no turn signals. When the traffic got dense, people were out in the street selling. What were they selling? Blankets or something
no
like
idea.
that. They were
Like
selling some kind
hats or
of
something.
textile. It was crazy. And then just the extreme contrast you'd see between the buildings. Some brand new stuff, some older buildings, and then there they are, the pyramids. You're driving, and then just boom, behind all these modern buildings, you see the pyramids. And he got us here in good time, in one piece.
Well, it surprised me. I didn't expect Cairo to be so ginormously big. Like, how many people live in it blows my mind. Building after building, stories high, like
It's crazy.
Chicago is nothing.
The Mena House Hotel is the most beautiful place I've ever stayed. On top of having exceptional service and cleanliness, the Mena House has a rich history. The hotel was built as a lodge for the King of Egypt in 1869. We were fortunate enough to get a private tour of the hotel, and were amazed each time we turned the corner to see the incredible craftsmanship that had gone into creating this place. Sadly, due to Egypt's recent decline in tourism, the hotel was nearly empty. On our first day, we made the mistake of acknowledging people trying to sell stuff on the way to the pyramids. We found out that even though it seems rude to us, it's much better to simply ignore these people. If you say even a no thank you, they'll continue to bother you the entire time. We're about to go see the pyramids, and we decided we're just going to walk there. We're right next to the hotel, and right outside there are tons of people who want to sell rides and things like that there, so we're going to try and get past them as best we can. We'll see what happens here. We are headed out right now. Good morning. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yep. Good morning.
Okay, thank you.
Just gonna walk. All the area, madam. You can see everybody, the guests, all the tourists. Can you go to the carriage? It's better. Why? Can you go see the very big? It's just small. See this way. Side to take it here. Left side to take it. Here, come from here. Good morning.
Good morning.
You want the permits, sir? You want the permits?
Yes.
Okay, give me a second. Excuse me, sir. You speak English, yes?
I'm sorry?
You speak English?
Yes.
I'm not a guide, I'm a worker here. This cameras work?
Yes.
Okay, stop second.
If we ever get up here, it should be pretty neat. Yeah. I'm surprised by that too. Looks like we figured out the right way to get in, at least the government entrance. I think the people down by the road there were not government employed. They said they were trying to get us to ride camels up through here. We opted to walk this time, so we just got through ticketing, and here we are. The pyramids of Giza are something everyone should see. The site can be explored freely, and it is easy to spend a full day there. Tickets to go into the Great Pyramid are purchased separately. We went inside, but were not able to take photos or video. After going inside the pyramid, we decided to take a camel ride. It was fun, but the guide kept trying to change the price once we had already gotten on. He also continued to try to get us to buy other things along the way. This made the camel riding much less enjoyable than it should have been. we're exploring an area here on the side of the pyramids. I think it's the temple complex, but I'm not sure. But there's some faded hieroglyphs we've found on the walls and on a lot of these stones. And it's really interesting because we were noting that here at the pyramids almost nothing is labeled, and so unless you have a guide who you can trust, you really don't have a good idea what you're looking at. And of course in most other countries they label their sites quite heavily, but we didn't find that here. So a lot of this is just really neat that you can walk around freely and explore all over the place, but it comes with the downside of all this vandalism, and it's really quite a shame that these treasures aren't taken a little better care of, but of course limited funds make that difficult. So we did find a sign here, luckily. And it seems that this is a burial tomb still, so I don't know that those were, yeah, I don't know, perhaps those other areas were temples, or this might all be tombs still. It's very interesting. This might be the best example of hieroglyphs that we've seen so far. Haven't gone up to take a look yet, so let's take a look here. Look at that. Very neat. Complete with vandalism and litter, but very cool. This is definitely one of the neatest things I've ever done. Just walking through all these ruined tombs or temple complexes here. And what's really nice about this spot is there's nobody trying to sell us a camel ride. So the pyramid itself was difficult to really think about anything. We have time to really experience this.
Scribe. So this was the king's scribe.
Ah.
B.
What's interesting is that as we've gotten further back from the pyramids, we're pretty out of the way of the hubbub here. You get more signage about what you're looking at. And these are just all kinds of burial tombs that it looks like very few people come out to see, but you're obviously meant to see because they're labeled. We found a tomb here that's especially interesting, as you can go in. We can't, but I don't think you can see. It's got, oh, here you go, now you can see it's got painted hieroglyphs on the wall. Well, I'm sure they were all painted in the time, but they're still retaining some of their color at least. And looks like it's got a passage going down.
The burial chamber.
Burial chamber. But we can't get in. There's the police station. That's probably a good place to go get information, actually. Our second day in Cairo was spent with a personal guide that we hired from the hotel. He took us to the Egyptian Museum of Antiquities, which had a massive collection of artifacts, including the treasures of Tutankhamun. Unfortunately, we were not permitted to bring cameras inside the museum, so we have no photos or videos from the inside. After visiting the museum, we went to the Muhammad Ali Mosque, or Citadel. The area had originally served as a fortress for Saladin, and a mosque modeled after the famous one in Istanbul was later built in the 1800s. The mosque was a stunning display of architectural achievement. We finished the day visiting one of Cairo's most popular bazaars. Before going deep into the streets, our guide explained what to expect.
On the other side, so many other mosques from the Fatimid and Mamluk time. The market itself, there is a mini street here. If you go like 200, 300 meters, there is so many parallel streets, side streets. So when you're going from the side streets, you will coming from the other street here. So let's going. So mainly you shouldn't to forget anything inside. So don't put this in the table, this one in the table, because maybe they can put just a cover or anything to hide it, to let you to forget it. So don't put anything inside. Should to bargain well. If he didn't give you a good price, you should to leave him and go to another shop, and the third one to know the average price. When he accepts your price, if you get outside the shop, he telling you, okay, my friend, come, and they accept, you should to check your stuff again, maybe just exchange it with another broken one or like this. Avoid the precious things, no gold, no silver, it's just souvenirs. Like pyramids, for example, 3 small pyramids, crystal pyramids, they call the crystal, in a box, 3 of them, roughly 30 Egyptian pounds, 30. When you bargain in Egyptian pound, don't use dollars. The rate is 7.2, like this is the rate. So let's say 7 to make it easy. But all the bargaining is in Egyptian pound. If you're gonna have, for example, like some small cat in a stone, 20 Egyptian pound, 25, 30, depend on. If you would like to get a small pyramid, stone pyramid, granite or basalt, 10 Egyptian pound. If you're gonna have like a scarf, Egyptian scarf, 25, 30 Egyptian pound. Like that. So it's the average price 20, 30,
Okay.
till 50.
What about like a lamp?
A lamp. Depend on small lamp, for example, can be like from 100 to 150 Egyptian pounds, small lamp cover. He's telling you 800. Sometimes he's exaggerating the price to let you to say 400. No, it's if he didn't give you this good price, try to make a good deal. Go to another one. Insist on your price, 100, then 120, 130, till 150. And then leave him.
No higher. Okay.
This is also another the same street. So you go. If you get this, you will be on the other side. So it's linked to each other.
Okay.
I'm gonna be waiting for you.
We don't have any video footage because walking in the bazaar was very intense. We were huge targets and couldn't get away from the vendors. The second time we went to the pyramids, we were battle-hardened visitors. We now knew not to say anything and act completely uninterested in anyone who talked to you. We collected some footage for a second video on how to avoid being taken advantage of at the pyramids. In this, you can see how effective ignoring the guides is. pan over and show that area. That's the entrance you don't want. Wish you had gotten that.
I know,
part.
I'm sorry.
The guy just tried to say he worked here, get my ticket, just so he could try to scam me into something. We just missed it. As far as that.
Would you like later to have a camera right today? Huh? Camera later? Would you like to have a camera right? Why you didn't answer me? ليش؟ لا والله ما
Blows me away every time.
Hey, that line is this way.
What's up?
Market. I know.
This is one of my favorite spots. Thank you, that's okay.
You walk around again?
Oh, we're just walking around.
Walk around?
Yeah.
If you want question about the camera, we give a good price for you.
No, that's okay, thank you.
You know how much cost? You know how much?
That's alright.
No problem.
We're being... So you can see the guy over there. He was really friendly and seemed polite, but when we said no, he kept following us. They'll follow you all the way around unless we're leaving, so he stopped. But you just have to ignore or they'll keep following you the whole time, even if you're polite. We spent the rest of our last day visiting the sites of Memphis and Saqqara. We drove through some more remote areas and saw a world and culture vastly different from our own. At Memphis, we were amazed by the 60-ton red granite statue of Ramses II. This statue was carved out of a single block of stone. We also saw the Step Pyramid and surrounding walls, which many say were some of the first stone structures in the world. From a distance, we could also see Seti's bent pyramid and the Red Pyramid, which was the first successful pyramid. You could also see the massive Giza pyramids, standing proudly in the desert from miles away. Like a lush green oasis compared to the surrounding desert, Cairo is a city of contrast, between ancient and modern, wealthy and poor. It is the most fascinating place I have ever been, and I hope that you too will someday make the journey to Cairo. Once you see what it has to offer, you will never be the same again.